Hey guys, I'm back. Well, sort of. You have to bear with me. I am struggling slightly. I'm in a considerable amount of pain. I have got good painkillers, but they don't seem to be touching anything at the moment. Anyway, I'm sure that'll get better. So bear with me. I'm probably rambling a little bit. I'm not with it. Not that I'm ever with it, but particularly now I'm not with it. Anyway, it's all done. Sort of. There's bad things with that as well. It's good and bad. Anyway, we'll get to that. So, yeah, I got out last night. I managed to wing it. Normally they like to keep you in, but I was adamant I was coming out last night. Absolutely adamant. Probably not the most sensiblest things to do, but I'm not very sensible anyway, am I, really? So, as you know, this is the first time I've ever gone through anything like this. I've never, ever been in hospital like that before. So it was a bit of a thing for me, that was. Not liking hospitals at all. Got a bit of a phobia with them. I don't even like being in there for a visit. It just sends me a bit funny for some reason. So having to stay in there was my worst nightmare. Anyway, I managed to get out. So yeah, very bizarre thing. I know some of you guys have gone through some terrible things. I take my hat off to you guys. I really do, because some of you guys have gone through some quite bad stuff compared to my trivial little operation. But it was a massive thing for me. It really was, with the fear of going in there and everything. I'm not afraid to admit I was quite worried about it. And anyway, that bit, surprisingly, was nothing to worry about, because you don't know nothing about it till you wake up and time goes on. So yeah, they take you down and lie on the table and stuff. Put this thing, I've still got my silly thing on, I'll cut that off. They put this thing in your hand and administer some magic through that. It's quite bizarre. I remember I'm going through all the stuff, double checking everything. What's your name, what's your address, date of birth, which arm are you having operated on today. They've just checking that you know, and they've confirming, I guess. They'd already been and drew like arrows on my arm and stuff while I was down on the ward. So I'm trying not to cough. Ridiculous as it sounds, coughing is extremely painful. Like jars, that thing. Whoa. So yeah, after they'd gone all through the official stuff, the guy was like, how did you do this injury then? I said, silly old fool, I flipped my dirt bike. And he said, oh, I'd love a bike licence. Bang, that was the last thing I knew. I was obviously been switched off. And next minute, I'm waking up in a different room. And that's what it felt like as well. I felt like I'd just had a little nap. And yeah, I've been gone for quite a while. And that's the next thing. So after that, they make sure you're all okay, back down onto the ward, blah, blah, blah. And then they do a series of tests over a period of time. Blood pressure and all that business, and heart rate and stuff. That was sort of fine. But then that plummeted. My blood pressure went down. Oh no, come on, I'll behave myself. I need to get out tonight. There's things to tick off the list. You got to be able to go to the toilet. You got to be able to eat and keep it down. You got to be able to drink and keep it down. I've done all that, stormed all that. I drank loads of water, so I went to the toilet. That was all good. Tick, 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 tick. And then I'll say the blood pressure went a little bit. But that came back, tick. Oh, I'd already phoned my friend to come and get me, because I knew he was a good hour to hour and a half drive away. so I phoned him a bit earlier what I needed to so he could get there. And yeah, I managed to get out. Oh, I had to see the surgeon, the guy who worked his magic before as well, so he could go through things. Nah, this is where it changed a little bit. So obviously I'd met the surgeon a couple of times prior. He was walking towards my bed, shaking his head. Oh, God, what's going on now? Because obviously up to that point I have no clue what's gone on, no clue what's been done, and he's about to go through it with me. And he said, that was one of the worst ones I've had to try and repair. He said it's quite bad. And he said, I'll tell you now, I think I'll be seeing you again. Oh no, that's what I don't want to hear. He's like, anyway, so they've put this part in, donated part from a deceased person, that's gone in. He managed to attach it to one side. He's attached it both sides, but the other side, so the bit where it's completely severed, he got one bit up, one bit, and you get them as close together as possible. Then this, what they call a graft jacket, goes in to tie them together. He said, but the other side was in a terrible, terrible state. Dead, basically. He said it was like trying to attach something to tissue paper. Bottom line is he ain't really optimistic about it. Which, yeah, like I say, I don't really want to hear that. I'm going to try and be optimistic because he says, we'll see how it goes. He said, but you have got to 100% behave yourself to give this the best chance possible of possibly bonding and staying there. I was like, okay, right. He said, that is, do not move your shoulder at all. I thought, okay. I'm a fidget. You've probably seen me in videos, I'm always doing this. Oh, I'm scratching my nose or rubbing my face. I'm a fidget. I'm terrible. I'm already struggling. But we'll see. I have got to behave myself to give myself the best chance of this possibly working. But he did say, I think I'll be seeing you again. It's one of them. It's my own fault as well. I've only got myself to blame because I have injured this shoulder 3 times, all very similar, all sort of the same experience I had with it. A tearing noise followed by immense pain. First time I injured it, I had that sensation. It was terrible. Second time, it was terrible. But I reckon all these times, that muscle was tearing. That's probably the time I should have gone in and got away with a bit of keyhole surgery. But I didn't, because I'm stupid. And I reckon the fall off the KX is the one that completely severed it through. And I think with the other 2 injuries, it was slowly getting worse. I thought it was healing because I could move my arm again after a bit. But obviously, I think parts of it were actually dying. I don't know, I'm not an expert, but this is just me guessing. I didn't actually tell him about the other previous times I'd done it, to be fair. I just told him about this one. So that's probably why it's a bit of a mess in there. So this procedure, this is what he said, this procedure normally takes an hour. I was down there for 3 hours with him trying his best, and fair play to him, he'd done his best because he was at it for 3 hours trying to sort it out. So yeah, that's how it went. It is not the best, but hopefully, just hopefully, it might just work. I've just got to do my bit and 100% behave myself. I've got that special sling on. I stripping off and showing you. I don't want you to have that sort of scare seeing me in me buff. But yeah, it's more like a sports style. It's all black neoprene. It's quite smart actually, because everybody else in there had this great big horrible sponge bright blue thing, and this one's got a sensor in it. So what I've got to do, because obviously I've got to try and slip the bottom of my arm out of there sometimes, because apparently I've got to do exercises with the bottom of the arm, but keep the top perfectly still. So I've got to do some exercises, bringing it up front, down the side, whittling fingers, stretching the wrist and all that business. Then it goes back into the sling. And then obviously washing. I'm not allowed to get the sling wet at all, because there's electricity in there monitoring what I'm doing. And every time I do things like that, they've given me like a logbook. I've got to write the time, the date, why I took it out the sling, how long for, when I put it back in the sling. Every time I do something. And then what they'll do, I suppose, is when they plug the sensor in, all my notes tally up with what I've been doing. So their studies going correctly. Well, that's all I can think it is. So yeah, I've got a bit of work to do with that, but that doesn't matter. If it's all going to go part of the study and help others in the future, that's fine with me. And it'll make me behave as well, which is a good thing, especially when the surgeon is not sure if this is going to be any good, which is a little bit soul destroying, I've got to say. Stupid idiot. But the pain is just monumental at the moment. I'm sure in the next few days that'll calm down a bit. I didn't sleep at all last night. I was just rolling around trying to get comfortable because they put a blocker in me as well that basically makes your whole arm dead. So they put you to sleep. This thing, I think she said it was an injection, or they put something in my neck or something, and it just completely switched my arm off. Yesterday, it's so weird. I pinched myself, nothing. My wrist was just, I couldn't pick it up, and now it is so weird. As the night progressed, oh wow, I could feel that wearing off. Oh boy. Yeah, it's weird, stupid. Even walking the steps, I'm like bumping this and oh god. Last night it felt like I'd been shot with a 44 Magnum. I could not rest at all, couldn't settle. I've been pacing all day and everything. Anyway, I'm sure that'll go off in a few days. We'll see. I spoke to Matt this morning. I said I'd give him a call as soon as I'm back in the land of the living, in true Matt fashion. Oh, you're alive then. You're not dead. No, not yet, I'm afraid. Oh dear. And apparently he done a little bit of plugging last night on a video. He hates people thanking him. Thank you, Matthew. I'm doing that to wind him up. Oh, you're so nice. Anyway, thank you. No, thank you, you guys. Wow. Like, just the people going into my buy me a coffee thing and just helping out. Thank you all so much. You won't believe how much I'm grateful for that, and how much that is going to help me over the next couple of months. It really is. I am so grateful, because one thing, I am not going to be able to do all these little jobs. I do loads of things behind the scenes, and this helps put food on the table and pay bills. All these little jobs that you most of the time you never see me doing. I'm not going to be able to do them, which is, yeah, it's quite concerning. But yeah, your help is unbelievably helpful, and I'm so grateful. The long-term Patreons, people who have come on to Patreon, people who have been on and gone from Patreon, thank you all so much. My long-term patrons, I've said before, without you guys, this would be nigh on impossible anyway. And I'm so grateful for you for supporting me. Some of you from the beginning and still there. I can't thank you guys enough. I don't always get to thank people personally, I know that. I've had a gazillion messages on my phone. I'm thanking all you guys now. That can get quite overwhelming in a nice way. I appreciate it all, but I'm still tight with one finger and my spelling's appalling. So yeah, thank you to everybody who sent me a message. I really appreciate it. I will go through and read them all. I can't promise me getting back to every single one, but I'm thanking you all now. I appreciate it immensely. This battery's going to go in a minute. I can see it on my camera. So yeah, thank you everybody. It really is a tremendous help, and because like I say, I've got to definitely keep this still for 6 weeks, maybe rolling into 8 weeks, and then I've got to behave myself a little bit after that, because like the surgeon said, it's like a piece of tissue paper and we got to see how it heals up. I'll be having another MRI scan. I'll be obviously informed by that through the post, and yeah, I'm in their hands. That's all I can say. I'm in their hands with everything crossed that I don't end up back in that operating theatre and it works. It might be a thing where I'm just going to have to be careful for the rest of. Just watch what I'm doing. That's going to be difficult. You know, it's just the way it is, I'm afraid. There's people a lot worse than me. Far worse than me. But I'm a little busybody. I like to do things and get out constantly and on the go all the time. So having to stop that's a bit of a... That'll be the next thing. I've got to try and keep my stupid mental health in check and not start letting that get to me. But we'll be all right. We'll be all right. You guys have been the most amazing help. I just can't thank you all enough. Like I say, absolutely fantastic. And we'll keep the videos rolling. I'm not quite sure what it'll all be. I've seen some suggestions. I'm listening to them all. I'm reading all your suggestions. So I've got 6 weeks to plod through all these things, and you know, this arm still works. At the minute, anyhow, I don't know if I want to stick my thumb up my bum or kiss the dog at the minute. Whew. But I'm sure in the next few days I'll settle down and the pain will start dying. Hopefully, because it's driving me mad. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that, because the battery's going to go. Right, the battery did go. I don't know where I got to there. Don't really matter, does it? Unravel it on. Anyway, that'll do. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you very soon. Cheers for watching.